all you wonderful groomers, pet stylists, and canine cosmetologists. You found the Traveling Groomers podcast, where we discuss lessons learned from mobile and house call grooming. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Bear Anthony. Any moment now, we'll be joined by my co-host and friend, retired mobile groomer and educator extraordinaire, Mary Aquendo, and very likely a special guest to help us chat about all things grooming, grooming industry related, and just plain fun digressions that I totally wrangle back to topic. Grab those travel mugs and climb aboard to see where today's topic will bring us. Let's roll.
Okay, so welcome to another episode of the Traveling Groomers podcast. Our guest today is Ashley Hanvey. Hey, Ashley.
What's up?
I've known Ashley forever. Forever. I've known her longer than I've known you, Chris.
I know. That's wild.
It is a little crazy.
Yeah, you introduced us. I think.
Oh, that's right.
Didn't she? Maybe.
Sure.
Why not? That's what happened. Listen.
I can't remember anymore.
I showed up an hour early to this recording.
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, I know. I get the message. Hey, I'll be there in a couple of minutes, and
I'll be right there.
And I'm like, what the hell? She changed the
time. I'm like, I thought I had an hour.
I had excuses ready on why I was going to be like 4 minutes late. I had full on excuses that were 100% TMI. And yeah.
Yeah, but were they legitimate excuses?
They were.
Or did you just have, okay.
No, they were.
We're just using it to, get out of it.
No. For those of you who have ever taken Ozempic, I just got upped to the final dosage of the 0.2 milligrams, and my first dose of that was 2 days ago. Yeah.
How's house call going with that?
Interesting. I know the thing is, I know what bathrooms are good bathrooms in house call.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I can usually schedule or time it, like depending on if I have coffee in the morning, how quickly I drink my coffee, all of those things. I factor it in, and 100% my last stop of the day yesterday, I groom in the basement, and they have a downstairs bathroom that like nobody is ever in the basement. So I legit grabbed the dog, chucked to the bathroom, locked the doors on both sides, put the dog down, who then sat and watched me as it would. And I took care of the business. But this is also why I say in my house call classes to carry a tiny travel size poopery in your pocket, because it happens and you don't always know when it's going to happen. So, yeah. So I had a legitimate excuse for being late, but I was really early, and now I'm just confused. Because
I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. I legit didn't know what the hell time it was.
Okay. But thanks for the panic. But
yeah.
Because
I was welcome
out here on my deck, just chilling out, listening to an Audible book.
So you were ready,
trying to get
though.
my mic. I was trying to get my mic ready because, we hadn't had a chance to set it up yet because my lazy butt's been sitting on the couch. So.
Okay. Well, no, not your lazy butt. Congratulations to Ashley. She is very pregnant at this point.
She's very pregnant.
All right. So that's going to bring us up to like the first thing I wanted to ask you. Okay. So you're pregnant in a mobile van. Okay? How is that working?
So far, fine. The biggest concern is you pee a lot.
Okay. And
And
you handling that?
not well.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It always hits when I'm in the middle of bathing or when it's completely inconvenient for me to run inside somebody's house to take care of that. And it's only going to get worse at this point. I need a porta potty.
Okay, yeah, important question. Where do you fall on that spectrum? Are you the no, thank you, I can go into people's homes, I'm right here? Or are you the porta potty?
It really
Or-
just like you, it depends on whose house I'm at.
That's true.
Okay. Where are you on the porta potty versus the 7-Eleven Slurpee cup scale?
I mean, if the choices are or if the choices are 7-Eleven Slurpee cup or pissing my pants.
Yeah.
No,
I think we're all
you
at
use the
Slurpee cup.
tub. You use the tub. You have a gray tank for a reason. And if you are cleaning and sanitizing properly as you should be, it does not matter. And no one has to be any wiser
can't.
there.
Okay, so are you like climbing into the tub?
No, that's what mixing bowls are for.
So
So-
Slurpee cup.
Yeah.
Wow.
Silicone
So this
mixing
is
bowls.
this is where
amazing.
the podcast went immediately. And oh shit, it is my fault. I was going to say it wasn't my fault this time. But that would be incorrect. It's my fault. I'm sorry.
I
We
mean,
just-
I know plenty of
there.
mobile groomers do it. It's just admitting it and
It's
out loud.
Yeah.
Hey, if the
You
dogs
know?
can do it, why can't I?
The dogs do pee in the tub all the time. That is a good point. Oh my God. Oh my God. I saw that on a thread and it was people I know. And it was something wasn't right. And one groomer asked the other, like, well, are your stylists basically asked if they were peeing in the tub? And I just knew the other person involved and I could picture her clutching her pearls. No offense at the pearl clutching. I do that too. And going, my stylists use the restrooms in coffee shops and homes. Thank you. They don't pee in the tub. Gross. And I had to call her. I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. Like, I'm kind of.
It's actually really not that gross. At least in my van, you have a stainless steel tub.
Yeah.
You just make sure all the hair is out of the hair catch. You take your bathing beauty out of the tub and all that. It's not a big deal. And then you just sanitize the tub after. It's really not that hard.
Okay, so good to know. So, Chris, on that note, should we take our first commercial break?
Yeah. Because I
Who's-
think
Who's the lucky advertiser?
that would be Ray Pet.
Okay, that's appropriate.
Now
That's very appropriate.
that's very appropriate because those towels are disposable. And I will say, no, I won't. Nope, not going to go there. Not going to do it. Pressing the button. I love being a household groomer, but I hate doing laundry or worrying about asking my clients for fresh towels. Ray Pet has solved those problems for me with the Wet Pet disposable towel, taking up much less space than traditional cotton towels and easy to wring out and reuse. These super soft, comfy, absorbent towels eliminate any cross-contamination concerns between pets. And now their new smaller washcloth size can even help those sensitive eye areas. Great for cleaning out wrinkles gently and thoroughly. Need to keep water bowls for your clients on hand that are easy to disinfect, but hate all the room traditional clanky metal bowls take up? Or just have a very active pet? Their collapsible silicone bowl comes with an aluminum D-ring hook that can be attached to your pet's leash or anywhere else in your van for easy storage. You can get one by itself or in their handy travel kit, along with a set of 3 tick removers and 1 small wet pet towel. So stop by their website to check it out, raypet.net, and tell them the Traveling Groomer sent you. So I had to switch pens. I felt like this pen needed to be used.
Okay, so moving it along. So, all right, so other tips and tricks. All right. So okay.
I still have my little tentacle pen. It's in my travel backpack.
Yeah, my tentacle pen is in my box of stuff that I
Sorry.
put between office and my outdoor office.
This one says your favorite word, Mary.
Queen?
Yeah, the other one. Uh-huh.
Oh, I see the word queen.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that is fair.
Okay.
Uh,
So, mobile tips, right? This could be also house call tips. Right?
Yeah.
So I think when I first went mobile, my area was way too large. Okay. And because, I was, concerned, I had a van payment and mobile grooming was totally unheard of. So I set, don't laugh, Ashley. I set a 30-mile radius.
Hey,
Yeah.
the only reason I'm allowed to roll my eyes at that is because I learned from the best.
Yeah.
And that's you.
Yeah.
So my total radius and I'm kind of in a rural area too, from one end to the other is a total driving time of 20 minutes, but it's only maybe 10 to 15 miles.
Okay. Yeah.
See,
So
I did the 30-minute radius, but I made the mistake of doing 30 minutes from my house until I had that day. And fortunately, one of the clients was only like a one-time client where one was 30 minutes north and the other was 30 minutes south. And I was like, I hit it close to rush hour. So I had at least a solid hour drive time. I was
yeah.
not amused.
So yeah, that was like one of my early mistakes. Okay. And it took me a little while to clear out that mistake. All right. It was the realizing that again, I am traveling, okay, and I'm in rush hour and I am in some significant rush hour to get where I'm going. And then because, I did the day there, so now I'm traveling there in rush hour and I'm coming home in rush hour. So soon as I let one go, I let them all go.
Yeah.
Tightens up that area. So don't make the same mistake. All right. And it's not as difficult. I mean, and we just did a live stream yesterday on like firing clients and how difficult that initially can be. But you just it's just firing that first client. All right. Getting rid of that first client, it makes it so much easier to continue tightening up your area. So once when I had to let one of my clients go in an area, it's like, you know what, I'm not coming down to this area anymore. I'm really sorry. And just tighten it up.
I've only had to fire 2 clients so far
Nice.
for
And
two very specific reasons.
All right. So how long have you been mobile?
I've been in the van since basically since 21.
And now I want to know the very specific reasons.
So one of them, when I first started doing her dog, she wanted him done every 2 weeks, which was great. I loved it.
Oh yeah.
And then she moved to 4 weeks, which is still fine because that's my basic rotation. And then they got a poodle. And we kept trying to get the poodle on my schedule, and she kept taking the poodle off my schedule. And then she started skipping her 4-week appointments, her every other 4-week appointments. And I caught on to this and was basically like, when I went to make the next schedule, she asked me at that point if she could start doing 8 weeks. And I'm like, no, everyone is 4 weeks or 2 weeks. And that is the only thing I'm able to accommodate, because all of my clients are 4 weeks or 2. And so I guess at this point, no longer going to work with me. And she was fine with it.
All right. You know what? And I'm going to say kudos to you, because it took me longer than 2 years to fire my first client.
I was so picky though. I was so picky taking on people that for the most part, it wasn't a big deal. Everybody I have is wonderful. And the second one that I fired was because they wouldn't communicate with me. Now I am a text only business because I don't like answering the phone at all under any circumstances, because no, I need to be ready to talk to you, and I need the text message trail so that I don't forget things. And I booked with them, and I know they were receiving the reminders. They get a 1-week reminder and a 24-hour reminder that I don't have to do. And then I would tell them I was on my way. Nothing. Silence. Always. I'd show up at the house, and sometimes I could go up to the door. I could be calling. I could be texting, the whole 9 yards. And I would be lucky if they would respond to me within 20 minutes.
Oof.
And then on top of that, on one occasion, they knew I was coming, and then they decided to forget and left the house to go run an errand last minute. And then the second time they did that, they were literally walking out of their garage to get into their car after I parked my van. And we're like, oh, you're here. I guess I'll stay home so you can still groom the dog. Like I was like, wait, seriously? So they just, and one time I was having a really bad day because, I'm pregnant. And I love the dog. It of course wasn't the dog, but he's older.
Mhm.
And obviously I have to be very careful with lifting. And he's not a large dog, but he's heavy enough, and he's delicate enough in his age that he cannot help me help him.
Yeah.
So I texted them that I wasn't showing up because I wasn't feeling good that day. They never said a word. They never said a word. So, and this is why I love my clients. That following rotation, I'm at my client's house, and I'm like, I really don't want to go do this dog. And she looked at me, and she's like, I used to clean houses. I've had clients do this to me too. She's like, you need to fire them and be done with it. And so you know what I did? I fired them on the spot, and I didn't go that day. It's not worth it. It's not worth it to the dog for me to show up in a bad mood.
Yeah.
Not ready to properly give care, especially to an elderly dog. And it's not his fault. And with pregnancy hormones on top of it, I was not in a mental state that I should be doing that dog in the way that I was. So I fired them, and that was that.
Much happier.
Yep. Didn't have to worry about it anymore.
All right.
Mhm.
So, I mean, and that's a really good tip too. You know what? We go mobile, we go house call for more like the independence, and it's generally our own business. And we need to be happy going to work.
Mhm.
Right. So the first time I fired was someone because I was dreading going to their house. Not only dreading going to their house, I was starting to dread the poodles, not just their poodles, but poodles in general. And when I realized I was going to houses with poodles that they were fine, owners were fine, dog was fine. Why was I dreading going to their house? And that's when I made the decision that I had to really give this consideration. And when I was in the van one day, thinking how much money would it make me happy to groom these 2 dogs, and I was up to $500 a piece 20 years ago. Okay, that I cried uncle. And I
Yeah.
fired her.
Yeah, that is the only client that I've had to date that just refused to be in a way that would communicate. And I mean, it's not even like I didn't call them. I would call them, I would text them, like the whole 9 yards, doing things that I don't like doing, and still couldn't. I could even ring their doorbell and they'd ignore me. And I'm like, that is not acceptable. This is not how I am treated by a single other client of mine. So I'm like, I'm done. I love the dog, but
And
this isn't
and
worth it to me.
what did they do when you went to charge them the cancellation fee for ringing their doorbell? And
Let's just say I'm really bad at actually charging that fee,
okay,
because they were
That's
always
fair.
my last dog of the day. And honestly, I was grateful.
so you're like F it, I'm going home.
Okay. So, let's talk about water usage.
See, now that's a big one. And that's part of the reason that we wanted you on here, specifically because I know a lot of people have concerns with water issues and think that they can't do conditioning steps
Mm,
and they can't say clean out their bathing beauty between each dog because they're worried about water usage. And I know you do both of those things, like you do a lot
yes.
of treatments and you absolutely are the
So
queen of BV
yeah.
sanitation.
The biggest thing is knowing what your water capacity is. Everybody's going to be a little different depending on which manufacturer you're with, or if you're in a trailer. I know with trailers, it can be all over the place with what your water capacity is. Then you have to make the decision if you want to use a bathing system or a recirculating system, because both of those, depending on what you use, are going to save you water, or can. But you also have to be mindful of what you're taking that day. Understand that, obviously if you're doing large hairy dogs, you're going to have less available water to do those dogs. And especially when you first go from a salon setting or a house call setting where you have unlimited water available to you, you're gonna rinse a lot longer than you think you need to. But that's where recirculators specifically come in, because the concentration of what you actually need in order to get the dog clean and conditioned is minimal and requires very little rinsing. And
Yeah.
especially with the recirculators, because you're using such a minute amount of shampoo product, you do not need to rinse your dog between the shampooing and conditioning step. Just drain the water in your tub, refill so that you have fresh water for conditioner, and then do your conditioning step. And then you just do the final rinse at the end. You don't have to rinse in between. You also don't.
When I learned that, Ashley,
Mm.
I want to say I was today years old, but I was like 3 days ago old when I saw you say that. And I'm like, did she just say what I think she said? I need to double check that. Cause I haven't been making it super squeaky rinsey, but
You do not have to rinse the dog. It is a waste of water.
oh,
And it should make sense. So say generally for me, I use maybe about a tablespoon of shampoo to about 2.5 gallons of water in my tub.
Mhm.
I change that ratio a little bit depending on what I'm doing, but we know that, especially dependent on the type of shampoo you're using.
Okay,
And
what type of dogs are you generally do? Let's start there.
everything. I do everything. So
No, be more specific. Are you doing
okay.
Pyrenees?
I have done Great Pyrenees. I don't do the one I had, but yes, I did a farm dog Great Pyrenees on a 4-week schedule. I have doodles, large doodles.
Mhm.
I have little doodles. I have Pomeranians. I only have one Shih Tzu on my schedule. which I find hilarious because that was like bread
that
and
even
butter in
happen?
Texas.
Yeah.
They were literally my bread and butter in Texas. And now I literally have one on my schedule. And then I have a bunch of different mixes and like, Australian style hair mixes and stuff like that too. So I'm doing dogs with hair that have double coat, non-double coat, all I'm doing a little bit of everything.
Okay.
And so I always start at that baseline, tablespoon of shampoo to about 2.5 gallons of water, which fits for my particular tub. And that's usually all I need. Obviously, the thicker coats, you're going to need more water. Do I often have to add more shampoo? No, I don't, because every time, the whole point of the recirculator is you're reapplying that shampoo to the dog over and over and over again until you use it up, if you even use it up. Because I do every 4 weeks, my dogs are very, very rarely actually dirty. Unless they literally live out in the country, and I do have 2 little dogs that do. So I probably could get away with less, honestly, shampoo. And a good indicator with recirculators to know that you've used through what's available in the shampoo with the surfactant is the suds disappear. All the suds disappear. It's usually a pretty good indicator.
Okay.
So we're going to take our next commercial break, and then I'm going to ask more of the questions. More of
And
the
conditioner.
questions. About conditioner, yes.
Everything else in the world seems to have changed. Positive Ed has too, but for the better. Online learning is here to stay, and Positive Educational Training has brought the trade show to you with Summit memberships. For one monthly price of $97, you get 6 to 10 hours of content streamed live to your sofa, or let's be honest, grooming table. Forgot to attend live? No problem. You have 6 weeks to watch at your convenience. That's 3 weeks more than non-members, and for up to $50 less than non-members paid. With a monthly support call and summits tailored to the pet industry and designed to include all learning styles, what are you waiting for? Check out positiveed.com today and get the support you need to take action for your business.
I lost a thingy. I'll
But you
find it. I'll find it. Fortunately, it wasn't my mind. That I
Yeah.
lost a long time ago.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I don't think we're gonna find it.
I lost that a long time ago. Okay, so now the question I have for you for that, I have a couple doodles that I do a condition, a bath, and then a leave-in conditioner.
Mhm.
So what would your rinsing protocol be on something like that?
First, I have to ask, why do you do it that way?
Because these guys have such a long, she likes them long. I hand scissor them.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of coat. There's a lot of not quite matting, but like undercoat hot mess. And they do get dirty. So I find that the first conditioning step pulls out some of the grease, almost like pulls some of the dirt and loosens everything up. And then the shampoo gets them all clean. And then the leave-in conditioner helps with, and I use a very light, actually, I mix things, but that helps it dry faster. And because I use the recirculating system, if it's a coat like that I know needs an extra help, when I use the leave-in conditioner as a last step, I know that it's getting everywhere as opposed to
So
a spray
you're-
bottle.
So you're using the recirculator to apply a leave-in conditioner is what you're saying?
Correct.
Interesting. What are you using?
I'm using show season chrome coat with a dollop of the Max,
Oh, okay.
the silicone. So chrome coat can be used as a spray when it's diluted enough. So a little of that in the recirculating system is going to create that. So yeah, I basically use the recirculating system to apply my dematting products.
So question, I'm
Yes.
assuming on these dogs, you have already tried just washing them like normal and then applying a conditioner after. Have you done that already? Just to see what happens that day?
I don't remember because I've been doing it like that for so long. I honestly don't. I think I probably. But
Now,
Mhm.
I have not had a case where I need to do the condition shampoo condition
Mhm.
type thing, at least not since I've been mobile. But you have to also remember all of my dogs are on at least 4 weeks. It doesn't matter what it is. I would see that being a little bit more useful, like you said, if they're a bit on the greasier side. So
Mhm.
I do have some that, may have a little bit greasy ears, and I will apply conditioner directly to their ears before I start bathing them to let it sit. But I don't really see a problem with it. If it's working for you, then there's nothing wrong with that. It's just important to me that you are using conditioner or
Yeah.
some type of sealant for the hair after the fact. Because it's necessary. Everybody should be conditioning everything. Everything.
Yeah.
Even terriers, everything.
So in that scenario, you may not really rinse between the shampoo or between the conditioner and the shampoo.
You might have to a little bit. Depends on how much conditioner you put into the recirculator. If you really put it in there where you can really feel the extra, like it's super slick,
Right.
then you might need to rinse it a little bit. Otherwise, you're making the shampoo work harder than it needs to.
I do tend to, I call it half-ass rinsing. I
Mhm.
don't like rinse it a lot because I'm going to shampoo it away, but I'm like, let's make, yeah, I make sure it's not thick, but I don't go crazy rinsing because I'm about to shampoo.
Yeah. Now, in the van that you're using, you have less water available to you than I have.
That is true. And also in the van that I'm using, I don't use the recirculating system that comes with it because I hate it with a passion. I'm sorry, Wagon Tail fans. That what the hell? What is it called? Super Sudser.
Fuck this.
That's what I think about the Super Sudser. No,
Do that again. I did not hear that.
Well, I guess I'm fucked again.
it gives random. It's my fuck button.
Oh, okay.
Why don't you go outside and play hide and go fuck off?
That's how I feel about the Super Sudser.
So my general I don't, this is not
Okay.
a brand bash.
For all the
No.
hate mail that's going to happen, make sure you tag Chris in it.
Yeah, no, it's all me. It's all me.
No,
But I will tell you exactly why. And one of the reasons could not be it's possible it's not valid because it's not a van I own. It's a van I rent on occasion. So I don't have full access, but I don't like that I can't see the parts to take it apart to clean, number one. Number two, because it's built into the van. If you're parked the wrong way, if you're tilted the wrong way, because it's on the left-hand side of the tub. So if you're slanted a little bit to the right, you have to use way more water to even make it work. And God forbid you're parked on a hill going nose down. Just hand wash the fucking dog at that point. That's why I don't like it. Whereas with the Bathing Beauty that I bring in, I can put it wherever the lowest point is and use the least amount of water.
So my biggest pet peeve is the fact that you cannot properly sanitize that system. It's impossible.
Okay. So it's
It
not
is
just
utterly
me not
impossible.
knowing. You can't really take it
You
apart and see
cannot-
what's in there.
You cannot properly do that because there's a lot of plumbing involved. So you can't I mean, you'd have to be so on top of it. It's not even funny. But there's no way for you to clean out the plumbing to make sure there's no buildup. And then you also have the hair catch in the back, which also gets nasty and always has water in it. There's always liquid in it. And then there's the fact that they're just using a regular water pump, like your fresh water. They're just using a freshwater pump, and that's why they have to have the hair catch so that it doesn't get caught into the freshwater pump. So it's just a very large system that is very difficult to clean. And when they tell you to, they basically tell you to choke it by not putting in enough water. And they don't like that. Those pumps don't like that. But for the biggest thing is the sanitation. I would never have one in a van because there's just no way to properly sanitize it. I'd get to use it for one dog that day and then I wouldn't touch it again.
By the way, can you hear me right now? Can you hear
Yes.
me? Yes?
Yeah.
Oh, you actually could hear me. The mute wasn't working.
I don't know what you did. I didn't hear anything weird.
Oh, okay. So you didn't hear my dog going ape shit with a box and a giggle ball.
I did hear slightly the giggle ball. But
I
it's
tried
fine.
I tried to hit the mute on the microphone so she wasn't loud as hell over you for the YouTube viewers. For the podcast listeners, I can just edit out all of her nonsense.
I like her nonsense. I think it's cute.
It's loud. And no, it's cute, but it's loud.
But back to conditioner.
Yes.
So recirculators are the best thing for applying conditioner because you get a even distribution of
Yes.
conditioner throughout the coat.
Yes.
And you need very little. You don't need a lot of conditioner at all, ever.
It makes de-shedding treatments fabulous. Fabulous because it does half the work for you.
Do you want to talk about D-sheds next?
I want to talk about D-sheds in mobile units next and various things about them. Are we about due for a commercial, I'm thinking? I'm thinking we are.
And speaking of continuing education, because we either were or will be, join the Andis world-class education team each month for live interactive virtual classes. You'll learn new and trending styles, as well as tips and tricks from some of the best groomers in the industry. Whether you're looking for basic skills, trending styles, advanced techniques, or even just ways to spark your creativity, the new Andis grooming education site is your source for finding what you need to create your way for success. Try new techniques, learn from the pros, and grow your confidence today at andis.com/groomer education. Traveling Groomer podcast listeners, hey, that's you, can get 25% off your first course today with the code VEGROOMING at checkout on andis.com/groomer education.
So I am a
headphones. Can we back my headphones?
Who's a silly puppy?
Okay.
She's even stealing the mic.
She has full on licked the mic before.
I believe that.
You want to talk?
Yeah.
You want to say something?
And for the podcast listeners, this is Chris's dog's Una, and you guys thought poo was bad. Ooh, I saw that.
Those are the bitey licks.
Those are the overexcited bitey licks, but she's like not small.
No.
So it's a little freaked out when she got, you can't fit in my lap.
She
You
very much
can't-
disagrees.
She very much disagrees.
Yeah, because poo was sound asleep in my sweatshirt.
Mm-hmm. So back in the day when I worked in a salon, I was definitely one of those groomers that swore by the shampoo blowout, condition blowout type of thing. I would put a mask on, goggles, basically put a turban, and just let the gunk fly everywhere. I do not and refuse to do that in my van. Absolutely refuse. I will not do it because it is one, terrible for your lungs. It is
Yeah.
terrible for the dog's lungs. And it makes a god awful mess. And I am a bit of a clean freak, and that is just not acceptable.
Yeah.
So this also plays into why I do all of my dogs every 4 weeks, because this really helps with those shedders. But I just bathe my deshed dogs like normal. I may spend a little extra time running the recirculator through their coat, and I call it line bathing. And in my
That makes
recirculator
sense.
class, I demonstrate it, but I basically start at the top of the dog and I literally just do a line pattern and work my way down the dog. And yeah, go ahead.
Ooh. When are you going to get your recirculator class recorded so you can do it from your van and show the line bathing?
I actually have it on video already.
Okay, and just to make a point, Ashley is doing her recirculator workshop for the safety and sanitation summit that's in July.
July. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yep. So yeah, so it's a line bathing technique. The goal with the recirculators is to make sure that you fully penetrate the coat to the skin and at least push the hair away from the skin. So that when you rinse the dog, it's going to come out, right? But you've not made it perfect. But what that means is that when you're blow drying that dog, you are only blow drying clean hair around your van. And for me, that is acceptable. It is okay for me to have clean hair, but no dander, no soap, no conditioner.
All
And
right.
it's a lot easier to clean that way.
All right. Now, do you also use like a shower curtain or netting?
Nope, don't need it. I make sure like I said, is the dog is clean, that hair can fly, and it's easy to clean up when it's clean. It's when it's gross, dirty, covered in dander and whatever else they put on their dog that it's yucky. So as long as the dog is clean, well conditioned, you take your blow dryer, it pushes the rest of it out, and you're good to go. No, I don't need anything fancy.
But you still wear a mask.
I always wear a mask when I'm blow drying. Yes. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah. I do that in the house too,
Mhm.
because when you're in people's homes, you don't notice the dander because you're not blow drying against a tub. You're not up, maybe up against a wall in a salon. The dander just kind of disperses.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean it's not going to disperse directly into your lungs.
And I am technically allergic to dogs, so the less amount of internal exposure, the better. I do not have allergy problems in my van
Okay.
because I keep it very clean in there.
You take proper
And
precautions with
I take proper
the breathing.
precautions with the breathing, and I also don't blow out dirty dogs in any way, shape, or form. Very
Yeah,
important.
I remember back in the day when I first started, that was a thing.
Mhm.
And I wish it wasn't.
Now, I'm
But-
not saying that I haven't had to do dirty blowouts before on a
Mhm.
dog, but you know what I do? I do it outside my van. That Great Pyrenees that I used to do was a farm dog, and depending on how things were going, I didn't always get to do him every 4 weeks because he was a friend's dog. So sometimes he'd get pretty compacted, especially after sleeping outside with, the sheep and all that. So I would take my dryer and I'd go outside and I'd close my doors and I would stand with this perfect dog outside and blow him out dirty outside. Still masked, by the way. I still
Oh,
wear a
yeah.
mask. But that's the only type of situation where I'll do dirty blowouts is when I can actually do it outside.
Okay, fair enough. Now I had a fair number of clients. I had one client that she wanted to be scheduled after a dog that I blew out, not clean my van, come to her house so I could blow all the hair out in her yard. I'm like, I could just bag it for you, seriously. But that was an actual request.
That's hilarious. But it's also very easy to do in my van because I just open up the back doors and the side door, and that's generally how I clean every day is I just blow everything out.
Oh, that's true. You have that gorgeous back door. I forget about that.
Oh, yeah. I love the back door on the Hanvey van.
Yeah,
No wall
nice.
separating that to the outside. Blow everything outside.
Yep.
Nice.
I can't stand having hair flying around when I'm trying to work in there. So if whatever I can't vacuum up from during the day, I blow it out at the end. I won't lie, I'm a little bit of a neat freak. I won't lie, it's been annoying because being pregnant means that I have less energy. I can't get down on my hands and knees to clean my floor and underneath everything. So my van has not been as clean as usual, and it's driving me crazy, and I'm probably about to hire someone to help.
That would be a really good idea.
I've not needed help up until this point, but I definitely need it now if I'm going to maintain my same level of cleanliness in the van.
Makes sense. All right, let's get our next commercial break. Oh, I didn't even write down. There. As a house call groomer, the idea of van and generator maintenance had kept me out of one for years. But Hanvey Engineering and Design has been making mobile grooming vans for 20 years now and has thought of that. No generator to maintain, repair, and replace. No propane to fill or worry about running out in the middle of winter. Hanvey vans have the lowest operating costs out there. I know I'm sold, but check out their latest innovations for yourself at hanvey.com.
I have some news about that.
Ooh, Wait.
Hanvey. Okay, go ahead.
wait. I got to edit this out. Mary, I did play the Andis commercial, right?
Yes.
She did.
I thought I did. I just didn't check it. Okay. You have some news about that. What?
Hanvey's approaching their 30th anniversary.
Holy cow.
Wow. We need a party.
Yes,
We'll
we
work
did.
on that.
Okay.
We'll work on that.
When is it happening? When is the 30th anniversary? Not when is the party that I just now demanded we have happening?
Curtis said started in 95. So math.
So
2 years.
2 years. Oh, that's okay. I thought it was
Like plenty of time for planning.
okay. I thought it was like in 6 months or something.
No,
Okay.
no, but soon. I mean, 2 years is soon if you think about it.
I
Okay.
I was hoping that it was going to be next year because I'm formulating some plans for this year, for next year for my birthday.
Oh, this is what I think we should do, Chris. I
Yeah.
think we should pick a trade show that most
Uh-huh.
of us are at, and we should just do a general happy birthday to everybody celebration. It's everybody's birthday.
I'm gonna do one better because I was planning on like the year of Chris. So at each trade show, because I see like a core group at every trade show.
Yeah.
But there's some people I only see at certain trade shows. So I'm gonna
Like
be
me.
like you. So I'm gonna say every trade show in 2024, there will at least be a couple drinks at whatever the host bar and have a birthday celebration. So now I think it should be everyone's birthday. Birthday drinks at the bar,
Every show.
every show. Even if it's like a drink, because we're running around doing lots of things because we're crazy people. So even if it's one drink at the bar at every show, still a nice amount of alcohol.
You're so cute. And it won't be alcohol for me. I'll do a Shirley Temple though.
Okay, that's fair. Well, no, a beverage
because there's a lot of people who don't imbibe and I don't want to exclude them because I want it to be a party.
Alcohol's gross. I don't even have to be pregnant to feel that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So lay some more questions on me.
Okay, I had them and then they went away.
Mary,
'Cause
you
my
got one?
Did you
Brain.
take them down, Chris? Okay.
What?
So you've been mobile now for like 2 years now, correct, Ashley?
Hmm.
What would be something that you did when you first started that you would change now?
Well, I honestly was very lucky. Mary, I've known you for a long time and I was very well prepared when I started.
Okay.
Between your books and you in general and being able to talk, I didn't really have a whole lot of questions. I didn't have a whole lot of problems either. So it's really kind of hard to say.
Okay. Um, well, that's good because that means the level of education has improved. Okay.
Mm.
Because when I started in 2002, there was like no education.
Yeah, I was very well prepared and I am very appreciative of you for that.
Thank you.
But that doesn't mean, just because I was well prepared doesn't mean that people that are going mobile now are prepared.
All right. And what advice would you give to help people become prepared to be a mobile groomer? Because let's face it, we make it look easy. All right.
Mhm.
And we enjoy it and we love it. And I've always said, if I had to go back to work, I would sooner work at McDonald's than go back into a shop again.
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I'm mobile. I love being mobile. But there's lessons I've learned through trial and error because that was what was available to me.
Mhm.
But how what would you tell new groomers before they buy a van? A van is expensive. It is not cheap.
Understand that your van will not work forever. You need to know and have someone available to you that can do both maintenance on your conversion as well as maintenance on your vehicle. Because that is something that I have seen a lot lately is people jumping into mobile without understanding that things can happen. And specifically, especially because of COVID, so with supply chain issues and the decrease in quality of products available, manufacturing defects have become a bigger issue. So you need to be prepared to possibly deal with that. But if you don't have a partner that can help you maintain your conversion and you yourself do not feel comfortable maintaining your conversion, you do need to find someone that you can have on a retainer in some form that can help you when something goes wrong.
Oh yeah, I don't think people sometimes get that we're working with mechanical equipment. All right. Mechanical equipment at some point will need to be repaired. It will
Oh,
also
yeah, always.
will need to be maintained so that it lasts longer. I mean, I was really fortunate that my husband was very handy. All right. So if I had something go down that I could not fix myself, and
Mhm.
there wasn't a whole lot I couldn't fix, but there are a couple of things, okay, that he was there to make that repair for me so I can get back to work.
Mhm. Oh man, my brain just derailed there. Oh,
Well,
wow.
you're luckier than most in that respect, Ashley.
Well, yeah, but I also know how to, I learned how to function in this van very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like, it's for me, it's an ecosystem and you learn how to just mold with it. And so I don't have issues generally. Oh, that's what it was. We also have to remember that we're in a moving vehicle and this pertains to trailers as well. every time you drive or pull your trailer, your conversion is going through an earthquake every
Mhm.
single time. Things loosen, things break, and things need to be tightened. And this is a regular problem, and that includes things that are attached to the van, like hoses and stuff like that. You have to check and maintain all of it.
Yes.
Not to mention, every time you get behind the wheel of your van, you do run the risk of someone else being an idiot,
Yes,
the
that too.
roads being bad, accidents happen. And honestly, if I've said it once, I've said it about 100 times. This is why I think it's important that you at least know how to do house call.
Yes.
Because whether or not you like doing house call, things will go wrong. And now you have that option.
Yep.
You
Yeah,
have,
no, my option was taking a day off, Chris. I've
Yeah.
done.
oh no, a day, yes. But what happens if your van is in the shop for a week?
So
Like, take a week
to add to that, and that this is where the supply chain issues come in and the manufacturing problems. Some people, unfortunately, are out of their van for over a month because the
Mm.
manufacturer cannot get parts and other things too. There's so much there. It's not just a couple days for some people. Some of these people are unfortunately out of their vehicles for weeks waiting for
Yeah.
parts to show up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but just getting back to the whole everything vibrates in your van,
Yes.
right? So I was having a problem with my table, my electric table not going up. And I think it may have been Curtis, who's the first thing out of his mouth was to me, is it plugged in? And I'm like, of course it's plugged into the wall. He goes, no. There's that little box there. Is it plugged in there? You know, at first I'm going to go, of course it is, right? No, let me go check. Oh, yeah. Okay. Thanks, Curtis. See you around.
That was it.
Yep,
Have you
that was it.
tried turning it off and on again?
Yes. Unplug, plug back in. Did you pop a circuit? Okay. There would be on more than one occasion, I would open up the van doors in the morning, find a screw on the floor. Where that screw came from, I don't know. I had literally a box of screws. Okay.
That's not good.
No, it's not. My worst nightmare was like I'd be like driving along the highway, and all of a sudden the whole van would just collapse.
And by the way, speaking of getting to know your ecosystem, I meant to mention your QR code earlier. Have they rolled out that system in the Hanvey vans where there are QR codes for everything, like every
There-
little part
Yes,
of that ecosystem
there
has
are
some
QR codes for
troubleshooting?
everything, but we are in the process of updating all of the videos. So they're
Nice.
available. Most of
Okay.
them are still available, but a lot of them need to be updated.
Okay.
And so that is a work in progress.
That works.
All right, should we take our last commercial?
We'll take our last commercial. Last but absolutely not least, I've saved my favorite for last. That's not entirely true. This is just where they were on today's rotation.
Okay, you know I love my Evolution swivel shears, and you even know that these customizable shears come in non-swivel as well. But did you know that they're the only ones I've been trusting my sharpening with for around 15 years, and that's how we met? What? You haven't tried their sharpening yet? If so, send in your next batch of sharpening and you'll get one shear sharpened for free with a $75 order just for telling them where you heard about them. Your shears and blades will thank you.
That's on my to-do list. When I
And
go
you
on
don't
maternity
have to s-
leave, I'm going to bombard Mo.
You don't have to send them all in at once.
I was thinking about it just to be a turd, but I've already forewarned him that I've got like 100 blades that he can just slowly do over time.
Okay. That he'll have 3 months to finish.
At least I don't even use any of those. Like I maybe have 3 that I use on a daily basis. So He did look a little panicked when I told him about it, but I'm like,
Little.
no, seriously, Mo, I don't need them right away. Take your sweet time.
And someone, and I feel safe to mention this here because I'm pretty sure that Mo and Abby don't listen to the podcast. They're fabulous sponsors, but I'm sure they don't listen. There's a t-shirt on order from someone that says with the E3 logo on it, that says on the back, if it's not Mo, it's a no.
Oh, we getting those?
Well,
I want
Mo's
one.
getting those. We can get those. I can make that happen. I'll tell you who to see for that. Because he is an excellent, excellent sharpener. So what are other questions I had?
All right.
No.
So I have a question. So you're going to be going on maternity leave.
Yeah.
So how did you decide it? Now there are women who are on their own,
Mhm.
and pregnant and can't necessarily take a whole lot of time off. Did you financially prepare to take time off?
I am still financially preparing to take time off. Yes.
Okay.
Obviously things have been crazy and I'm not always feeling my best. So I have not been working quite as much as I would like. But I have been squirreling as much as possible, to make sure that I can take off as much time as I want.
Okay.
I also overheard adamant discussions about, no, I'm paying down that credit card so that you have.
Yeah, that the one thing that I want to have paid off before I go on maternity leave is my business credit card.
Yeah.
I just don't want to have to think about it. Hi, Pooh Bear.
He's so sleepy.
He looks it. So being that this will be my first child, and I am also 36 when that happens, I don't know how I'm going to handle it. So
I believe you're 36.
I will be 36 in July. Yes.
Because
Wow.
I think of you as like 16.
Oh, geez. I actually would not want to go back that far.
Well, why don't we say she's 22?
25 was a good year for me. Let's go with that.
25. Okay. Because 25, that's a good year to be on your own and married and pregnant. And, she is married. So please don't think of her too much as 16. That says not great things about hubby. Just saying that
when you're 25, that is when your brain has fully matured.
Okay.
okay.
I had a conversation with a client and she was telling me her daughter was getting married and I was like shocked. And I looked at her and because you know what, I've been grooming the dogs forever. The kids were little. It's like, when did they grow up? I was like, isn't she 12? And she goes, no, she's 22. I said, how did that happen?
Okay. I had that experience at our local Chinese restaurant. Cam and I started going there when we were dating.
Oh,
So we would go and we'd walk down there and oh my God, I have that exact same water bottle. Anyway, like same colors, everything.
I know you
But
do.
I do. So we'd walk down there and it was a family business, as a lot of them are. And there would be kids like they're doing their homework and stuff. So apparently, as the years passed, there were other kids and cousins and stuff who hung out at the restaurant. So it didn't fully click until one time the young lady who was ringing me up, and I just looked at her and went, you used to, but 5 minutes ago, you were doing your homework at the other location. Like, what happened? It seemed
Mhm.
like it was 5 minutes, and next thing they're working behind the counter and they're grown and they're in school. And I'm like, what? I'm shocked. So yeah,
Okay.
I-
So Ashley, thank you for coming on board. We really do appreciate it.
Mhm. I
We
love
do.
mobile. I told myself I would never go mobile. And now that I'm mobile, you can't pry it out of my hands.
I feel the same way too.
you know what, there was a time that I was like, I never want to go mobile. I like being in a little shop. And there are things I like about being in a little shop, but mobile is just, and house call is just so much more personalized. It's a luxury service. And I feel like even if I work long days, I don't feel like I am working as long a day because I get to drive between. I'm out. I get to see the weather.
It still feels long to me.
Well, okay, it still feels long. But thank you so much, and keep us posted on how everything is going with Bebe.
We
So-
got what, three months left?
Oh,
Due at the very end of August.
And Mary asked, and my brain went, did you ever say how long you were hoping to take on
Oh,
maternity leave?
so you'll find this funny. My clients are telling me not to work for August at all.
Oh,
Oh,
when
I
is
agree
your,
with them.
when is your due
Um,
date?
August 29th.
Yeah, I would
So,
take it off August. It's gonna be
So-
hot. You're gonna be miserable.
Oh, yeah.
yep. So I'm going to, I'll be happy if I can work through the end of July. And then take August to actually take some time to prepare, because I've not taken any time at all. I've been far too busy. Haven't even really thought about it. I know he's there, but you know, it is what it is. And then assuming all goes well and my plans come to fruition, because we all know we can plan all we want with kids, but you know, anything can happen. I plan to be back in the van by November,
Nice. Just in
Okay.
time for the holidays.
just in time for the holidays.
Perfect. That sounds like a pretty good plan. That sounds like a pretty good plan.
So let's hope that everything goes to plan. And if shit hits the fan, then I guess I won't be in the van, and maybe I'll have to open a salon or something and then just suck it up.
Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. But who knows? Who
Who
knows
knows?
what life has to bring? So, guys, lovely listeners, if you have more questions about differences between mobiles and salons and different ways we would do things, post your questions on some of the episode links on Facebook, send us comments on the YouTube. Tell us if we need to have another episode addressing this topic, because
Because there's so much
there's
that we could
so
cover.
much. And I feel like that's why my brain kept going, because when we started, I went, I have a gajillion questions. I don't need to write anything down. I asked like 2 questions. It was all conditioner related. And then-
There's so much with mobile, and then you can tailor it to the different types of mobile vehicles and trailers you can be in. There's a long list.
All righty, dighty. Well, thank you again, Ashley. Thank you guys for joining us, and safe travels. That's fun. Well, that was fun, but now it's time to head home. We hope you enjoyed listening as much as we enjoyed chatting with you. If there are any topics you'd like us to discuss or guests you want to see join us on this crazy road trip of ours, let us know in the Traveling Groomers Facebook page. Don't forget to thank our sponsors, and see you next week, guys. Safe travels.